This week, we're heading south to the town of Exeter. We head from Richfield Springs down Route 28, which takes us right by Din's Cider Mill. We stop in to see our friends and, of course, to taste some sweet November cider. Din's Cider Mill is open 7 days a week. Today and every Sunday, there's a pancake breakfast until noon, and you can stay and watch cider being made on an apple press from the 1800s.
To see what we can see, traveling round the Mohawk Valley, let's see what we can see.
Route 28 is a scenic drive along Canandaigua Lake. The lake is 6 miles long and is one of the cleanest and clearest lakes in New York State. The island on the lake was called Diowango by the Oneidas, said to mean place of hearing because of the echo heard there. There was once a second island that is said to have sunk over 100 years ago. Indian folklore tells of special fountains with magical cures on the island, but the Great Spirit was angered and thrust the island to the bottom of the lake. Be sure to keep your eyes open for the hamlet of Schuyler Lake, because you just might miss it. It is a small hamlet in the town of Exeter. The entire town as a whole has a population of only about 1,000 people. Schuyler Lake is a quiet place this time of year now that the baseball tourists have gone for the season. Long before baseball made its mark on the region, Schuyler Lake was a busy farm community, with mills, large hotels, a ballroom, stores, a cheese factory, schools, blacksmith shops, and even the train and railroad stopped here. Many who live here in the town of Exeter are descendants of the original settlers. They are proud of their heritage and their ancestors, who came here and endured the hardships to make homes in the western wilderness.
The town of Exeter was formed in 1799 as part of the Schuyler Patent. It sort of was established. Schuyler Lake has always been the hub of the township. It had the railroad, had the trolley system, had the main highway between Cooperstown, Mohawk, Richfield. So it kind of was the center. There was a bank here, and so that everybody sort of came to Schuyler Lake from the area. Well, obviously everybody grew hops here in central New York. Lumbering was big, cheese factories, and dairy has always been a major part of the industry here, and agriculture, period. The hotels here were massive here on the corner, and we've got little tidbits of great dances, and people coming from all over for come to Schuyler Lake on a Friday night. So it's quieted down quite a bit. I mean, there's a lot of the places that were destroyed by fires in the early 1900s. A lot of the buildings are gone. The demographics throughout, central New York have changed. It's more of a small community now. A lot of single couples. It's a nice place to settle if you don't want to be in the rush of Cooperstown or up on Route 20. So it's not too bad.
And when I think of you, I'll ask myself why. Now that you're gone, now that you're gone, now that you're gone, now that you're gone, I can give up on being with myself. It's time I start thinking about somebody else. Now that you're gone, now that you're gone.
I am here at the old Panther Mountain Dam. This dam was built almost 200 years ago in 1825, and I learned that it was quite a controversy because whenever people find out they're going to change the water flow or the water levels in their area, they tend to become very upset. It's quite a place. I'm sure that in the summer it's a very popular fishing and swimming spot, and I'll bet you that it's a mighty fine place to do what I like to do, have a family picnic.
Whether fate or destiny or plans from somewhere above, certain people were bound to meet to share a little bit of their love. For a day, a week, a year, or sometimes maybe more. A little bit of love can make this life mean so much more. Little bit of love can make this life.
While you're in downtown Schuyler Lake, you'll notice that there are several modest little homes. They're right next to each other. These are the homes that the sawmill workers occupied, and right next to them is the home of the owner, Mr. Rose. As a matter of fact, it's a rose-colored house. I have to say it's a little bit fancier than the workers' homes.
There was music in the valley. There was music in the air. There was music all around.
Just north of downtown Schuyler Lake is the former homestead of Hendrik Herkimer, brother of General Nicholas Herkimer. At the northern end of the property, on a small hill, is the family burial site. where Hendrick and his sons George and Abraham are buried. Both served in the American Revolution. The homestead once had one of the largest hops yards in the township.
We have learned in the past that this area was very well known for its hop growing. In the 1800s, the average price for picking in this area was 40 to 50 cents per box, and usually the pickers were women. And a slow picker filled only 1 box a day, and a faster worker might do 2. Even though the picking was tedious, they all looked forward to the dancing and the entertainment every night. This original hop kiln is one of the very few that has the original workers' quarters still standing. The homestead is now owned by Charlie Zeus, who is also known in magical circles as, what's his name again? The Amazing Chazoo. Every year there's an annual convention here of magicians, and they come from all over the country to this little hamlet of Schuyler Lake.
I can't stand it when you're not around. I don't know quite what to do with myself. So if you have to leave me tonight, now, baby, just don't come at all. When you're gone, you know just what I'll do. I'll cry the whole night through, 'cause I'm missing you and all of your kisses now, baby. All of your heat.
Whenever I go to Cooperstown, I drive through Schuyler Lake, and I've always admired the church here on the corner. It was built in 1839. What's interesting also is the bell that's up in the bell tower. The bell was installed in 1893. It weighs 616 pounds, and every Sunday morning it can still be heard ringing.
Another historic church in Schuyler Lake is the Little White Church on Church Street. The Schuyler Lake United Methodist Church was built in 1880. Today, from 11 to 2, there is a second Sunday soup. Your donation gets you a bowl of the hot soup of your choice.
Driving along Route 28, you can't help but notice this old stone building. Now, way back in history, it used to serve as a blacksmith shop. It was important because this blacksmith shop serviced all of the carriages and all of the horses that were traveling through Schuyler Lake. This is one of the oldest buildings in the town of Exeter. It was built in 1828. What's unusual is that a second floor was later added to it for drying hops. It's great to see what care is being taken in its restoration. Come this summer, the summer of 2011, it is going to reopen as an art gallery.
Making this valley my home. I'm so proud to call it my home. It's not what you take or give. It's here I'm gonna live. Oh, I'm making this valley my home.
Just a hop and a skip west on Route 22 is a popular local deli and restaurant that has drawn people to Schuyler Lake for almost 2 decades. The new owner, Mary Aney, isn't about to change any of the homemade favorites that keep them coming.
When we were told that Mary's was the only place in town, we had our doubts, but there are no doubts now that I've eaten here. The food here, it's really among the best that I've had anywhere in my travels. When you come here, have the pot roast and cheddar sandwich. It's the house specialty. I can't describe it. It is so interesting and so delicious. I can honestly say I've had nothing like it in all of my travels. Not only that, when you've finished with having the sandwich, you're then in for some desserts. They are all homemade, and you're going to walk away from here with the biggest smile on your face for the food you've eaten.
The pantry's been around for a long time. It was a store originally. My employee now used to own it. She had it for 16 years. I worked for her for 5, and then her and I swapped places. I bought the store from her. She works for me. So, and I'll have had the store 2 years coming up this next May, and it's been going well since. Usually word of mouth is the biggest thing, and that really draws people in. I have people that come in and say to me constantly, I've heard about you, I had to come see what it's here. I've heard about this sandwich, I need to have it, you know, so they try that. I've heard about the desserts, they need to come and have those. Very important to have those. So between that and we do barbecues. My husband smokes meats, so we do the pulled pork, beef barbecue, or chicken. And we have one coming up November 20th, first day of deer season down here in the southern tier. So also a big push there. We're very busy that day too as well for our hunters.
Mary's customers rave about the homemade food, so we asked her what's her secret ingredient.
Love. There's love in all our food. And that's what I tell everybody. If they say what, I said it's love. Put some love in it and it sells well.
They are open every day from 6 until 8, except on Sundays when they're open only until 1 o'clock. So come down here today for one of their breakfast sandwiches or for lunch, and you are going to be treated to a complimentary dessert. And I'll repeat it again, they are absolutely incredible.
Traveling